The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on Leadership Lounge Live are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They do not reflect the official policies, beliefs, or positions of any individuals, organizations, or platforms mentioned. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent research and critical thinking. Enjoy the conversation and engage responsibly.
Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome back to Leadership Lounge Live, where I am your host, Lewis Marshall, here with my amazing co-host, Mr. Uriah, who's on location, and Miss Adama. I see she got the glasses on fleek today. What's good with y'all? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Sunday. You look
chilling.
Yo, he over there chilling, big chilling. Adama, look at this guy.
I know.
I'm in vacation mode. I'm on vacation.
You know, you need to turn the fan on. He needs to turn the fan on so he can blow. Give us the Beyonce blow.
Like, yo, facts. All right. So if you're watching, you probably see one more person. We've got a very special guest. Our guest today is an author, an entrepreneur, a property manager, and a mother, and not necessarily in that order. Please help me in welcoming Miss Reagan Dennis. Reagan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm excited for this conversation. It's not often I get to chill with another fellow property manager.
Ooh, yeah. That's different.
I know you got some stories. I know you got some stories over there.
Absolutely, I do. And I live on site. So that's a whole nother.
Hey, yeah. Hey. If you had it, I'd be like,
bum, 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 bum.
Booyaka.
Yeah, we gonna have to definitely talk.
Hey. It's rare that I even meet that many people that even does this. And now we have two on the show.
Two on the show. I do the same thing, Miss Reagan, so I appreciate that. I got a real quick question for you.
Okay.
If you had a billboard in your hometown and you could put a quote on that billboard, what would it be?
That quote would be, "Attitudes are contagious. Is yours worth catching?"
I like that. See, we don't have our soundboard this week.
Sorry, I'm on location. I didn't bring the soundboard with me. I failed.
Thank you. No, all good. So, Reagan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So me, Reagan, I am a mom of 6. My kids range from, this is crazy, 29 to 11. Yes. So that makes me a grandmother of 6. My 3 oldest have 2 each. So that's always good times. And then you're the built-in babysitter. I did not ask for this. I'm still raising children. But I am a property manager by way of cosmetology. So I've had my cosmetology license for 24 years. And I've had my cosmetology teacher's license for about 21 years. And I'm a writer as well. I have some books on Amazon. You can see me on Amazon, Reagan Dennis. I also make custom press-on nails. And that kind of came out of, why am I paying people when this is something I can do myself and I enjoy doing it? And so it was kind of like I was doing it for myself. And then people were like, can you do that for me? And it just became a thing, became a little small business. I am a woman of faith, woman of God. God first before everything. And I'm just me. I love to have fun. I love to laugh. I'm a people person, but I'm also an introverted people person. I'm that introverted social butterfly. When I'm out, I'm out. But when I'm in, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I totally can relate to that. Do you think that relates to the job?
It now more so than ever. Sometimes when I come home, it takes me 15 steps to walk from my unit to my office. So it's like sometimes when I walk home in the evening, I'm speed walking. Don't speak to me. Don't say hey to me. Don't say hey, Miss Reagan. Don't say nothing. Go home. Never come out.
I totally can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. I love it. Adama, what about you? You got anything for Miss Reagan?
I'm just so excited. I would love for you to tell everybody what part of this world that you're on right here. You're located where, y'all. I'm about to get excited.
So I am currently in Concord, North Carolina, but I'm like a down south, southern for real. Like I cooked pig feet yesterday for real. I'm from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. I did. They're amazing. But I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. I came to Charlotte when I was 15, but then went to Columbia. And I ended up coming back to North Carolina because South Carolina just wasn't it for me. Home is home and I love home, but I just needed more opportunity, more growth. So I am a country girl. I'm a Southern girl and I love everything about being a Southern belle.
That's right. Let's just go ahead and do
Southern Belle.
And Reagan, can we just go ahead and do this?
Southern Belle.
I'm so excited. I've known Reagan for probably about 2 years now. We met through ministry, and I'm just so excited for her to be on here. And I know you guys are going to love her just like I do. And there's so much that she's going to bring to the table today. And I'm just excited, and we're just happy to have you here. So welcome, North Carolina. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do that.
I love it. I love it.
And Mama, I am sorry for watching this, but I did do a little shimmy in this chair. North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. You're right. What you got?
I can't even back up. I can't. I got nothing to that. I can't.
He's totally in vacay mode. He's totally in vacay mode. I love it.
I'm in Puerto Rico. I love we have a show. I love we have a guest on the show. I don't want to pour anything. I don't want Adama to say anything negative this time.
She already got you out the way before the show, bro.
I got you out the way for a pre-show.
She already got you hooked up.
That's right. Y'all missed Uriah pre-show game. Y'all missed that Uriah. He went ahead and flexed and went ahead and put shirt on and stuff. So y'all already missed that part. But I would like to say, Reagan, I love all the accomplishments that you've done. And can you tell them about you also being an author? And if you could list the books, and you could also tell us where we can find that at. And then we can go ahead with some questions from there.
Oh, so I started. I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I remember being like 9 or 10, and I was like, I'm gonna be a famous author. And if you all watch Girlfriends, Anna probably can relate to this, like I did back in the early 2000s. And when Maya wrote her book, and she was like, she's a famous authoress. So I took that like, I'm gonna be a famous authoress like Maya. But I started writing something. And it kind of resonated with me. And I just happened to be finishing up a book. I was recovering from a surgery. And in the back of the book, it was like, for publishing inquiries, reach out, So I reached out to someone who ended up becoming my publisher. And I sent her what I had. And she was like, oh, my God, I love this. I would love to work with you. So I actually published 7 books under her. And the first set of books was a series, and it's the Hope Space series, and it's a 3-book series. And it was not supposed to be a series, but I felt like these people had something to say, and they had more to say. And if anybody is a writer, like we always have people just talking in our heads. I promise we're not crazy, y'all. We just got to get these ideas out. So I just had these people, these characters talking. So the first book went in a direction I did not plan it to go into, because it kind of went into like an unplanned pregnancy, but then it went into like the family of the father and all of this kind of peeling back the layers. So I needed to give backstory to everybody else. Well, it ended up being a 3-book series, and I got a lot of just compliments on it. And I'm like, I really did this. So, all on Amazon. The next book, which has been my bestseller today, is called Dysfunctional Family Values. Now, this book, I shocked myself because I actually wrote that book and the third installment of Hope's Faith at the same time. I was going back and forth between these books because I had all these people talking in my head. And that book had such rave reviews, and it came from one of the kind of non-main characters in Hope Faith. She was a nurse, and I just felt like she had a story, and she had a story of her own. And if you read that book, people were upset with me. They still like DM me like, "Why did you do that? Why did you have to end it that way? Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Y'all know this is a book, right?" But they were so invested in the characters, they felt like real to them. And I'm actually working on a sequel to that right now as we speak. Still Dysfunctional. And then after that was Sheer Insanity, and that came from me being a hairstylist. The roots of that is rooted in a hair salon, but then going into the stories of the owner and her two stylists and how they have to end up coming together because of tragedy. And after that is More Than Gold, and that resonates with the women because at some point in our lives we have to realize we're worth more than what we accept, and we have to start setting boundaries. And once we start setting those boundaries, then we can receive what we're supposed to receive and not just what somebody is willing to give us. So that was very, deep to my heart because that story was birthed out of a horrible situationship that you just had to say, this is a situationship, it is what it is, and I have to end it. And that's how that book was birthed. And the last Christian fiction book I wrote is called My Sister's Keeper. It is dark, but it's necessary, and it deals with mental health and how sometimes us and our community don't want to deal with mental health. We want to pray everything away. But it has to be dealt with because if we don't, then tragic things can happen, and it did. So those are my 7 books that are on Amazon that were published under another publisher, but I'm in the process of republishing my library under myself. I've done Dysfunctional Family Values, More Than Gold, working on My Sister's Keeper now. So I had to like redo covers and everything. And I have a prayer journal called For My Sons. And it's like a love letter to my 2 older sons. So very transparent moment. I have a 23 and 22-year-old, and they're both incarcerated. And when it gets to that point, obviously you've dealt with some things as a parent, and I had to verbally tell them I forgive them, and then I had to accept their forgiveness. And that was just like a love letter that was just supposed to be for them. But the Holy Spirit was like, no, ma'am, it's some other moms who need this. So that was where that came from. But you can find everything on Amazon, Reagan Dennis. And I'll always have hardbacks on me. Like, I keep them in the car. I sell them like, people sold mixtapes back in the day. That's how I have my
Yo, that. Say it again. Nope. See, that's where Uriah would normally be like, hey, will you please say that last part again? Please.
Oh, yeah. So I keep my books in the car like we did mixtapes back in the day. That's how, I sell my books like that. Like mixtapes in the 90s.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a question that I heard in the middle of you talking about the third book, and I wonder how you handle criticism from individuals who read the books and know that there could be a truthful component to the storyline that may connect with them, that it may pierce them, trigger them. How do you handle criticism with regard to that? Especially knowing that being an author is a really, it's a very in-depth art form. You're pouring a lot of yourself into that art form. So I'm curious, how do you handle that kind of criticism?
So typically what I do, if they come to me individually or if they send me a DM, I'll just, let them know I truly apologize if I triggered anything. And I let them know a lot of what comes to me is through my own experiences or it's birthed through the Holy Spirit. And it's not to hinder anyone or to make them, feel a certain way, but it's truly to help you and to overcome some things. And the criticism is hard as a writer because you're like you said, you poured yourself into it. You're like, this is my art, this is my baby. It's taken me months to craft this. And then when you do get the criticism, you're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And then you have to realize that everybody is in a different space mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So they may not receive what your intentions were. And then you just have to remember that. And typically what I do is look at the good reviews and I take the good feedback to kind of counteract the negative. And then just let people know, I promise it's nothing personal. And I hope it's something that you can grow from.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can we just talk about the Sunday dinner she just dropped for us, please? That was some good food right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I have a question. I'm listening to how you're talking about all the books that you did, and then you were even multitasking, doing a book. I can't even with this amazing, phenomenal ADHD power I have. That's right, y'all. I just labeled it a power. I'm gonna give myself a sound check. Bah, 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 booyaka, booyaka. Yep. So, even with that amazing power that you have to like go through this multitasking, and I know that you and I talked about this earlier. We're in this beautiful, amazing, sweet age of being wonderful, majestic adults, right? And
Right.
we come from a small town, even though North Carolina, I mean, we're, like she said, we're from the South and we come from small towns. And if it's okay for me to say, gentlemen, look, where everybody already knows where you're at, but Uriah, he's in the city. Lewis is in the city as well. He's in Hawaii, and Uriah is in Chicago. And the guests that we've previously had, everybody has used AI um, every single day. I would not have necessarily used AI if I didn't stumble across it. Okay. And now that I've stumbled across it, and now it's now become an everyday intricacy part of my life, knowing that you wrote all these books without that, and I know that we spoke on this privately, that you're technically like trying to merge yourself into this new ship. AI has made it to where it can be your assistant, especially with this new Chat GPT upgrade, um, where it can help you write these books, but without taking away your creativity. Do you think now that you know um, how technology is now moving, because remember we come from an industrial era, now we're in a technology era, do you think that you'll be using that a little bit to help you guide with your books as soon as you find out a little bit more about it? And I love having you here for that, because everybody we've had uses AI every single day.
So for that, I will say I love me some Grammarly. So I love me some Grammarly. I use it all the time. However, sometimes when you're using it, when it tries to restructure your sentences, like, no, I want them to use bad grammar. No, I want them to have this tone. So it's then you have to like add these words to your Grammarly dictionary because it keeps trying to, tell you that the name that you chosen is spelled wrong, things like that. So I do see the benefit as far as editing. Um,
Mhm.
I think my biggest thing with Grammarly is it does try to take your voice away. It makes sometimes when you're writing, especially when you're writing from maybe an urban standpoint, it tries to make it a little too proper. And I'm like, that's not what I'm doing, Grammarly, calm down. So I would have to find a tool that, like you said, doesn't take my voice away as a writer, because I do have a particular voice and tone in my writing that people have come to respect. And I want to make sure I keep that. So I would just find the research, find what works for me so I don't lose my tone in my writing.
Yeah, I know for me, while I don't do a lot of writing in my AIs, I'm having extended conversations. And I'll use ChatGPT and stay in line with Miss Adama. So I'm having extended conversations about the show. How do I get better as a host? Hey, can you give me a list of things that I might need to think about? As a property manager, for instance, I will use it to use my time more efficiently during the day. So I have more time to think about the other things the following day. Do you find that you're using any kind of productivity tool with regard to crossing over what you do as an author to what you do professionally as a property manager?
So I do use a little more AI in property management, because like you said, the time management, and you'll have like a set of goals for the day, and you come into like some ridiculous email and it changes your whole day. And you're like, I have to do what? You want this report by when? And even when I'm crafting emails, we call them, in my company, we call them nasty grams. When we get that one email and it's like, really? And you have to respond, and the response is time sensitive, and I'm just typing and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound, that. And so I will use Gemini to kind of craft that email so it sounds professional and it doesn't sound nice, nasty, or condescending. And that has been very helpful for me because, as you know, we're responding to emails all day. So it does cut down on the time of me thinking of a response. It cuts down on me deleting the whole email because I read it. I'm like, that sounds horrible. I might lose my job if I send that. So I have used it in that space.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know for me, it helps me to be more productive, and the more productive helps me in overall time at the end of any given week. But yeah, I get those emails at the beginning of the day too. I can empathize with that for sure. Ryan, you're real quiet over there. What's up? What you got?
I was asking, like, have you used AI? Because both of them stole my questions already. So I can't do that. But I want to go into the cosmetology side because I really have an appreciation for that. Have you been able to figure out how to use AI for that side of the business?
I haven't, because I have, sad to say, I haven't been as active since I've been in property management, and the goal is to get back active in cosmetology. So I am interested because I kind of feel like I'll be starting fresh because I took this kind of 2-year hiatus outside of my nail business. So it's like I'll be starting fresh. So I'll be able to gravitate to some of the tools that are available, especially when I get fully back into the industry.
Awesome. I think that's like a perfect segue to like what Lewis does, because Lewis does like airbrushing, and I know cosmetologists. One of my clients is a cosmetologist, and they do like super intricate, like detailed, crazy stuff. And I think that like totally blends with like the crazy stuff you see like Lewis does on like a bottle. So I'm thinking like a bottle, put it on a nail, like it's like the same thing, right?
Right. I actually saw, it's a nail girly that I watch on YouTube a lot. I want to say long hair, pretty nails. And she purchased this machine, and I want to say like she put the picture in the machine and then did the settings, and it did the design on the nail itself. So that is, I would definitely be interested in, because those designs take time. They're very intricate and they take a lot of time. So to be able to just tell the machine this is what I wanted them to do it, like that would save so much time, especially me doing press-ons. Like it could take me an hour to do a set, or it could take me 5 hours, just depending on what the person wants.
I can understand that from an airbrush perspective. And then as I'm listening to you, quick detour. I'm not staying in this lane long. But as Uriah said what he just said, I was thinking, okay, if you could get that machine, it is feasible then for you. I got prompt for that, where you could prompt for nail, like a stitch of a different set of nails. So it could be feasible for you to cut the time down on finished product nail sets.
Yes.
if you implement the AI along with the physical tool that the young lady is using on YouTube. Just a brainstorming thought. Do super random. My brain is like, oh yeah, you could do that for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I got two girls. I got a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 10-year-old, all she wants is press on nails, but she wants like the cool stuff because we won't let her use the actual fake nails with the glue. Because I'm like, I don't want to ruin your nails, but if you could put the cool graphics on like a regular press on nail, dude, that's a whole market right there. Like, I'm just I can see it because it's not there. Because I want it to be there because I don't want my daughter wearing glue fake nails because I mean she's 10 years old. Right. Like, she needs to be developing that palette. She needs to learn how to take care of it, right? Like, you're a cosmetologist, like you totally appreciate that. And man, I love it. I love how what we could get with that.
Absolutely. And yeah, the nail design is crazy right now. And a lot of people are going to the press-ons because they don't have time to sit in the salon. So that would be something where you can do these things from home, ship it to them or bring it to them. And they have like the luxury of a set without spending 2, 3, 4 hours. Their whole Saturday is gone. So anything that could cut down the time and give them what they need. And I have one girl, she orders like 4 sets for me at a time.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So she's set for the next month.
Right.
And I'm just like, I got like young girls, and they're the fact that they even want skincare, they want nail care. I'm like, you're not even 10. You're barely 10. Like, you don't even know what that even means. But like, the market is there. Like, and I'm the dad. I'm still gonna buy it, right? I'm still gonna give her the money. Like, she's still gonna go to Sephora. So like, we might as well be there in Sephora to sell the shit that I'm already a sucker for buying.
Right. We need representation in that area of the market.
I love that. He said, I'm the dad and I'm gonna buy it. Y'all, he said, I just want you to do it right. Now don't put the glue on. Come on now.
We need it for the kids. We need the kids because we don't want, because you know when you start putting that gel, y'all lose y'all lose it. It's no more nail. I got sisters. I know this because I mean I get it. I got sisters. I got daughters. I mean, how can we get the healthy stuff for the kids that's already done with capitalism?
Gave me an idea because when you do press-ons, you have the option to do the sticker versus the glue. So then that gives me an idea to create a kid-size nail specifically for the baby to give with the cool design. So thank you. Let me add that to my repertoire.
I'm in it. I'll be your first. I'll be your first client.
I got you.
There you go.
Y'all, did y'all just feel that energy? Listen, remember Lewis and Uriah when I sent you guys that kitty cat video and y'all were laughing? I said, look at the synergy. I'm saying the synergy right now, and I just love it because at this particular moment, Reagan and I were talking before she came on the show about the shift that she's feeling, and right now, the fact that, and me and Reagan are both really godly women, and I know I'll be cutting up. Y'all know I'll be. Look, I know. I wait till Lewis sees his cut. I just be cutting up a little bit. Un poquito. I figure I said un poquito.
Poquito.
But what I want to say is, I love how that just all constructed and came together, because I know Uriah. What you don't know about him, Reagan, is that he's really good on the business side of it. And then you just came up with that idea. We just saw a whole planet be birthed, y'all. On the leadership lounge where the leaders sit at.
But that's what's important for especially those pockets of the community where there's just a gap. And we need to just start filling it. And what I heard was, hey, there's a gap from a person who's a consumer. Hey, there's a gap here. Talking to a business owner, hey, look, there's a market here. Here, quick brainstorm. That didn't even take 5 minutes to brainstorm that out, because everybody has their own unique individual talent that they bring to the table. And it's like, hey, that didn't cost anything. It only took 5 minutes. She wrote something down. Reagan wrote something down. Hey, let me follow up on this. It's just those little bits of creativity that are very helpful to get you as an entrepreneur, business owner, whatever, to the next level. I'm curious, Reagan, as you have worn a lot of hats, is what I'm hearing. What's one thing that you're really proud of throughout this entrepreneurial journey?
I will say that I am really proud of the fact that I wrote 8 books. Like, I really wrote 8 books. Like, I did that. I'm very proud of myself for that, because it's something that I love writing. I love reading. I'm very like creative, artsy, and just the fact that I can sometimes, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'll just go on Amazon and put my name in so I can see my books. When I need that little boost of motivation, like, girl, you need that.
Google me, right? Like Google me.
I am Googleable. I was like,
I love it.
Google me. Ask for me.
Look, listen, I put words to paper. Now I'm on life for history. You better go ahead and give it.
Right?
You better go ahead. You better go ahead and
get
that.
Get it.
I'm so proud. And I think that what I really even love the most is that we get to follow this journey, because your shift, I mean, so much is happening in the world right now. And this is a great time for anyone who has an idea or has already done something like Reagan has. She's done a lot, actually, with books and with her own business and even with the property management. And so, what I'm trying to say is that she's getting ready to enter this brand new world, whereas it's almost like we're being introduced to the computer all over again. You remember when our parents were going through, hey, I bought this box, and they call it the computer, it's an IBM. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And told me I need to do this dial up thingy. And then the dial up goes,
Yeah. You get the little AOL CDs in the mail. You used to get 10 hours of AOL in the mail.
And you're like, come on. You go make yourself dinner and come back, and it's finally on and the computer's green. And so what I'm trying to say is that Reagan's getting ready to enter this new world. Whereas when she was writing all this different stuff, she was using Grammarly, and Grammarly is almost being phased out by that big giant, open AI. And then there are other giants. There's other giants as well that play into this field, with all these people investing billions in trying to get AI to where it needs to be, where they would like for it to be. And it's just going to be interesting to see you go through this part. And this is why I'm here. This is why I do what I do, because, and this is why I get on here on the live. And you guys know that I'm, like Reagan said, I'm an introvert functioning in the extrovert world, but I got to get crunked up before I come on here. And I crunk myself up to do it. But it's great to see that you're getting ready to enter this part of your life. Now, I want to ask you, with that being said, do you feel like you're being forced to adapt or leaning into that choice?
I don't feel like it's a force. I really don't. I feel like people are gravitating at their level of comfortability, and what they kind of find is their thing, they gravitate to that. But I don't feel forced at all. I really don't. Like, I'll kind of play around with certain things, and if I don't like it, I just don't go back to it. And if I like it, I may use it, like how I use Gemini at work for those emails. But I don't feel forced, honestly.
I'm curious how faith ties into the transition with
Mm.
AI. Um, so, as a person who's not from the South, I do understand about the Bible Belt, and Adam has kind of touched on it before, but I'm really curious your perspective on this. Also, how what does that transition look like for you? I know you can't speak for everybody, but what does that
Right.
look like for you in crossing those two worlds over?
So for me, with my faith and I will honestly say everything that I do is led by the Holy Spirit. If I kind of get into something and the Holy Spirit's like, don't, that ain't it, then I am going to pull myself away. But I feel like, and this, like you said, for me, just like with everything else, you can take anything and make it evil if those are your intentions. You can take anything and make it good if those are your intentions. So AI does have some benefits. It really does. That can be used. And then, of course, you're going to have those people who are going to use it for things that may not be so good. And I feel like it's a personal choice. And it's user, like we say, user error is
Mhm.
the user's choice. And that's how I feel about it as far as where my faith ties into it. I'm not going to say that it's all evil and it's all demonic, but I'm not going to say, oh, everything is good. I feel like it's honestly the user. Like, I feel like we all have certain gifts, we all have certain talents, but it's up to us and how we use them. If God has given us gifts and talents, it's up to us to use those things responsibly, respectfully, and to fulfill your purpose here on earth. And I feel the same way about AI. If people are using it to the detriment of other people, it's not AI that's doing it, it's the person that's doing that.
Mm.
And so it gives it a bad connotation of its evil when it could just be that particular person that created something that caused evilness to happen, if that makes sense.
It does, totally does. Do
Yes.
you quick follow up? I didn't mean to cut you off, Uriah. Just quick follow up. Do you find that? I know you said you have grandkids. Are you finding that they are having an interest in this area also?
You know what? For the grandkids, it's all about YouTube. Like everything is YouTube. Like, so
Okay.
they haven't really got into the AI yet. They're more so still because they're younger. My oldest grandchild is 7. So they're all about getting on YouTube and finding their little videos and shows that they like. So they haven't really got into AI yet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was
No,
not going. Go ahead. Mhm.
no, that's awesome, and I want to piggyback on that as well. Like, how would you say? Because you seem like someone that's like taking AI, absorbed it, and understand like where it's coming from, and able to do it. How would you position to respond to someone else that thinks like AI is evil? Like, I think everybody on this call think we know what AI is, even if it's crazy, even if it's like Terminator 2, Doomsday. But
Right.
how do we respond to somebody else that thinks like it's totally evil? Like, how do you how do you respond to that person?
Um,
And yeah,
so my response would be, I mean, pretty much the same thing. Like evil comes from people. It just depends on the user and what their intentions are, and it can be beneficial. But if you choose to not use it, then you know that's kind of a thing where that's on you if you choose to not use it. It's a personal choice, and that's okay. But don't make other people feel like they're wrong for using it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was such a good answer. That was really good. I mean, I her and I, like I said, we both met through faith, and at the church that we go to. So here's the deal with that part. I love everyone at the reach. But the part about this thing that I wonder sometimes about AI, like when I'm posting my images, um, I remember in the very beginning, I wouldn't really post because I thought, oh, someone's going to say this is evil. Someone's going to say, and then I realized like people say the same thing about medication. And I believe that God made this. And as we have choices, and this is not to just bring faith into this is just how I proceed with what I'm doing and how I'm learning. Even when I was granted the opportunity to be on the Leadership Live Lounge, I was like, okay, you're really putting your stamp on this. You're really putting your stamp that you believe in this wholeheartedly, and no one's going to be able to influence you. um I realized like what you said, those key points that you said, Reagan, it's really the person who's behind it. The person who controls it is what is going on. If you put out evil, it's going to be evil. If you put out good, it's going to be good. If you're trying to excel your business to reach and impact people, it's going to do that as well. Even with the animation, and animation now is becoming so big in our circle. And people are reaching out. And shout out to everyone who's been putting out new animation. I'm so proud of you guys. Um, but even at that, they'll be like, "Oh, it's evil," but no, it really is on how you put it out there. So I'm truly glad that you said that. And again, I've met so many people. I met so many women and men, but I met so many women have who are faith based and are doing this. And my other question I wanted to ask you is, are you ready, like when you step into this new part? Because now you'll be able to create your images, and I'm going to go ahead and plug you in here, Lewis, like with a great prompt engineer on what you would like for your image to be. You see what I'm saying? Now you don't have to sit and think like really hard at that point. Oh God, what am I going to put for the book cover? But I feel like this opportunity has gave us a way to make our lives less complicated and make us more successful.
Right.
So are you ready for that?
I think I am. I love that you said book cover because I'm like, oh my gosh, like it would make creating a book cover so much easier because sometimes like you have this perfect story and you spend weeks, sometimes months coming up with the cover because if the cover doesn't catch the eye of the consumer, there are no book sales regardless of how good the story is. So just to know that you have that extra piece to help you bring something to life, I'm definitely ready for that.
So that extends to what we are doing within media. So as you are talking about being an author and the book releases, I'm thinking to myself, man, so you have to do the pre-marketing for the pre-sales. You have publishing things that you need to be concerned with. You have, hey, I need enough stock. Like you said, you got them in the trunk because you're trying to get them off. You're actually trying to sell them. What does that look like on the digital marketing side for you? Is there a specific place that you choose to market? Do you drive more traffic to Amazon versus your own website? What does that look like for you?
So I do publish on Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, which it is very user friendly. And I think they have some AI tools on there that they make available to their authors who publish through them. So I really do more so through Amazon. And of course, just having my hard copies on me. And I love Amazon because it makes a self-published author, it makes you feel more polished because once you start uploading, it'll even go through and, let you know where errors are. Is the resolution of your book cover not right? So even those tools that they have within Amazon, as far as having some AI tools in there, it does give you the benefit of feeling like, more polished. Because sometimes as a self-published author, you do feel very self-conscious about what you're putting out and you want it to be polished and you want it to look good. So as far as marketing, they even have where you can like do marketing through Amazon, where they'll give you, okay, so your book can 3 days for free just to get you more traction and get you more, traffic. So I use I use Amazon pretty much for everything as far as marketing. Whatever tools they have, I use.
All right. Do you do any social media marketing at all?
Instagram. I'm an Instagram girl. I haven't been on Facebook in some years, so I do use Instagram for marketing. I will use LinkedIn as well, and Pinterest.
Okay, that's what's up.
Do you feel excited to learn all these new things? Like I cannot wait. And one of the I'm stepping into, I'm watching everybody, all the beautiful creators that I know, and they're doing all these different things, and I'm quietly cooking in the background. And do you feel this is which is it's just kismet that you are on the show today? Are you excited? That's let's just bring that excitement energy back. Are you excited to like step into this new world of what is happening? Because again, AI is changing constantly, and you and I talked about this part too. What I want to do in the background, especially with the age bracket that we're in, and are you excited about what's open for you, or are you feeling like a hint of overwhelmness? I don't even want to put that out there, because to say you're overwhelmed, this to me is like a ick word. It's an ick word
Right. It is an ick word. I will say it's somewhere between excitement and nervousness, because like, to be transparent, like our first, for me, kind of introduction to technology, we was playing the Oregon Trail in the school library. Dying from diphtheria and stuff like that, and the oxen have died, and you can't even get across the river. But to go from that to where we are now, it's like, wow, how did this happen? And I even look at my kids, like my younger kids, they're like, Mom, just let me do it. It's taking too long. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Even with your phones and computers and trying to log on and trying to do these, even with the smart TVs now, everything is technology. So we have to adapt, or we won't be able to do anything. I don't want to be that Gigi, because we don't say grandmother in my house. We say Gigi. I don't want to be that Gigi where my grandmother takes my phone and do everything for me, So of course I have to adapt to where we're going. And it's I will say somewhere between excitement and nervousness, because I know I'm going to have to use certain things in my daily life as far as work and even in my own businesses.
What's one of the things you're nervous about? Maybe you can help.
I think just learning something new. And when you've been used to kind of just doing things a certain way for so long, when it's time for you to transition to the new, you're like, oh God, I have to learn this all over again, especially some of us of this age bracket.
I'm gonna push on it. What new? Which part of the new makes you uncomfortable?
Just the learning something new. You know how you just kind of get used. So
I guess I just want to be specific, because like we all make businesses, right? So it's like, which part do you think you needed a little bit more help with? Which part do you think that AI could have helped with, or which part that maybe your kids could have helped with, because they just got younger brains? Like, cause I can't wait till I can just push my workload to my daughter. I'm getting close. I can't wait.
I think for me, it's just figuring out which tools would benefit me, and finding those tools and really just trying to master them, and coming out of the old school way of how we did everything just kind of manually, and being comfortable with using something new. Yes. Like if I'm just getting comfortable with Gemini, so I'm good with that. And it took a while, because first I was like, I'm not letting them write my email, until I realized the emails are beautifully crafted. And I got a compliment from my boss, like, your emails are wonderful. I'm like, girl, you just don't know. But just getting comfortable with learning the new and finding what's going to benefit me for each thing that I'm doing, like as far as my writing, as far as my nails, um, and even, trying to merge back into the beauty industry, finding those tools. And I guess getting help finding the tools, and I know Adama can help me with that.
Oh yeah, and she
Yeah.
got a couple of friends over here that could help as well. That's pretty much what this show is about, is making sure that we give back resources and provide information that's going to help somebody that's coming behind us learning. So if I can help in any way, I'm here to be a resource. I try to invite people every time I do a show or go live. If you need any help, you can always reach out to me. I know that we're connected on Instagram now, so you can always feel free to ask me questions, especially regarding AI and creative art. I'm happy to help.
Thank
You
you.
don't have to start from scratch. We've got a
Right.
system over here. You don't have to start from scratch. I know that what I heard is that your books are very much geared off of your experience, and it sounds like it's geared for other women. I'm curious, what message do you hope that another fellow woman might take away from the books that you've written, as well as the ones that you're in process on, and that they're starting a new season of life?
I would say a major theme in all of my books has been forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Um, Sometimes we go through things and we hold on to things and we hold on to grudges and we hold people hostage and we don't allow them to move on because we have just allowed certain things to happen, or certain things have just happened by happenstance. And when we don't release those people and release forgiveness, we hold ourselves hostage in turn. So we have to learn how to, just forgive other people so that we can have a sense of freedom. And then you have to forgive yourself, which I realize is harder than forgiving other people, forgiving yourself. And that's one of the major things that I want women to understand, is that once you have that self forgiveness, then you can actually move on and you can actually flourish and you can actually grow and you feel light and you feel like you can accomplish anything. Because when you haven't forgiven yourself, you're holding hostage every single thing that has happened to you, and you blame yourself for every single thing that you've been through. And a lot of times it's not your fault. But when you get that sense of, I forgive myself, it happened, and I'm okay, I'm still here, then you can actually move on into a new season of your life. And you can leave all the baggage, like Erykah Badu said, bag lady. You can actually put those bags down and you can actually move on, and you don't have to unpack those bags because you've moved on from it. Um, and that's just truly when I started writing where I was. I needed to forgive myself for a lot of things and I needed to forgive some people. And that's what writing helped me do, was to release that forgiveness and say, oh, I feel light now. I can move on now. And you can actually move on with a smile and with a sense of peace that is only God given, because the circumstances don't go away, but you can feel at peace and then you can take what you had to take from it to grow and you can move on.
So I heard processing it. I heard you not say it, but in between those lines, I heard you say you need to process whatever took place.
Absolutely. You have to. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't. You have to
Cannot.
process it. And then find you a processing partner, be it therapy, be it a sister in Christ, a brother in Christ, somebody. You have to process it, because if you don't, it's going to come up and out, and it's going to come up and out at the worst time.
That's it. That's it. That's
the
it.
one right there. That was perfectly said, Reagan. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm sitting over here like a proud mama. North Carolina. I love it. I love that I love that. But go ahead, Uriah. I don't want to, if you have something.
No, I didn't have it. I mean, that was awesome. I totally love it.
That was great. That right there was great. And this is the last part. I want to ask Reagan and Lewis this question. And before we go further, with with the property manager part, has AI really affected you all, or the way the industry is going with the technology? Has it affected the process of everything you all do?
Don't get me started.
I
So,
love Lewis's face and I love her laugh. I love it,
so
y'all. That's the clip
we
right
have a
there.
new chat bot on our website, right? And the chat bot is able to make appointments for tours. And if you do not check the website, if you don't check that website, you will go through the day and people walking in. Yes, I have an 11 o'clock. Do you really? So now this we have this chat bot.
It's like, hey, is this the clown show here? What's happening?
Right, like who are you? So now it makes us like add something else to the day that typically they're calling to make appointments. So you can write it down in your appointment book or put it on your calendar or however you do it. So now we have chat bots making these appointments for us. And now we have to be proactive because they don't even give us a reminder. You just have to kind of go in and check to see. So that's how it's affected me the most. It kind of just adds something else to my day that I don't appreciate.
Wow. Go ahead, Lewis. I can't wait to hear yours.
Well, I mean, for me, it's more the internal development of our in-house system. So I can tell just from what I do outside of work that there has been some form of AI implemented because it just responds to me differently now. We like to push buttons here on the show. So I will put in an entry that I know is going to trigger something in the system just to see what it says. So I'll give an example. I'm making calls for the day, and I'll put in the system, hey, I left a message, but I'll put in the written note. And I talked to the person and they said they're going to make a payment on Friday. And the system will be like, nah, that doesn't work. Fix one or the other. And it's like, oh, that's new. Huh. Before it would just, okay, whatever. You put some kind of data entry in. You filled the field. I don't care what you put in the field. Where now it's actually breaking down what you are putting in each field as though it's thinking. And so that piece has changed for me a little bit. Knowing that, hey, I know what we do with AI and how productive we are with AI. So it just puts a time clock in my head. Hey, I have to master this skill by a set date. Just me personally. Hey, I have to master this as a skill, both at my 9 to 5, but especially in my business. I have to master the implementation of AI from a data entry standpoint and figure out how to automate that, because that's just where the industry is going. These companies really want to be more efficient and more productive, but not necessarily have to pay for it financially, allegedly. So it tells me that I have to play kind of the same game as an entrepreneur. So I spend a lot of time on, training and taking courses, talking to you guys on a weekly basis, and then just figuring out what else is going on in the other industries. So following Forbes and CNN and Curious Refuge and the Leadership Lounge live show. Things weekly that can kind of keep me tapped in and dialed in so I can kind of stay ahead. So hearing Reagan say, hey, I like Grammarly, but I also use Gemini. So you have choices to be able to be more efficient based on what you need at that given time. You know, I talk to my chat all day, every day, like all day, every day. Lots of training. So it just makes me more efficient. And at work, I'm finding that's just amplifying things. I'm way more efficient now. So let me just stop there. I'll leave it there. I know people are watching, so hey, I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm much more efficient now.
That's really good, I love that. This is the last part I'm going to say because I know we're coming up. It's just so interesting with all the guests that we had on, have had on, the wonderful guests we had on, and even today our wonderful guests. I love to see how technology now has made it to where it's making it to where AI has to be one of the things, or you have to have some type of um, I don't know, some type of touch to it. Because I just read something the other day that Shopify sent out a email to everyone and said, moving forward, there's no reason why you should not find the answer because there's AI. Moving forward, there's no reason why you should not be able to know how to prompt to get the questions that you need. And they sent it out to all their employees. So it's just amazing to hear about what you all do in property management and how chatbots are now in there saying, yeah, disappointment, and yeah, you need to call this person again. It's just wow, the reach of it.
Well, I'm sure that's probably true for your industry also, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, but I love it all day, every day. I just didn't know, I just didn't know that it goes as far as it goes. I wasn't expecting, it to go as far as it's going, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's been moving quickly over the last. I just think we've been all together for a year in Unleashed AI, and just think of the changes that we've watched. And so, if there's a person who's just starting in 2025, they get the refined version of everything we went through last year, and they get a refined, polished up version of that. So they're starting with like turbo mode, if you will, where we went through all of the, Midjourney version 4, then 5, then 5.1, then 5.2, then 6,
Mhm.
then 6.1, and now 7. We went through all of those versions where a new person to this space, all they're going to know is version 7. All they're going to know is the new chat update. Here in a couple of days, they won't even know anything about version 4.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? And so as we're coming to a close and we're talking with Reagan about AI tools, of us hosts, what's one tool that you would suggest to Reagan before we head out for the day?
I'll go Reagan. You say use Grammarly. Have you ever heard of Copy AI?
No, I have not.
So Copy AI and Grammarly, they came out around the same time. I went with the Copy AI side, and I just followed their algorithm. Like they had a strong algorithm just for writing, and then when ChatGPT came out, I was like, well, why would I keep this? Because I mean, it's doing the same thing. And what they did, they just multiplied, like they used the ChatGPT AI model on top of the AI that they already had. So when
Okay.
you have Grammarly, and what do you think? Why would Grammarly is a specialized app, but some people might say ChatGPT can compete with Grammarly. What would be your um, pros and cons between Grammarly and ChatGPT?
I really can't give a definitive answer because I really haven't used Chat GPT like that. I can only speak for Grammarly. So I would say for Grammarly, what I do like about it is the spell check is amazing. It'll go ahead and correct things, but what I don't like is it will sometimes try to change the tone of your writing. Like it'll restructure a whole sentence. Like I said what I said and I meant that. So that's kind of where I have my, ups and downs with Grammarly is it tries to change the tone if you allow it. but it's efficient. Like it checks, like if I pull up one of my Word documents now, it's going to tell me every error, exactly where they're at, and I can just click, 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 and it can fix it. But I have to be careful to not click too fast, or I might change the whole paragraph.
Right. No, I get it. I get it because Grammarly and Copy AI, they was on the same page, and they had it because it was really just editing text, making sure your text was good, and then ChatGPT came out, and then it was like, oh, well, now I could do that. But like you said, it didn't implement that language model, so you couldn't
Right.
talk to it. You couldn't set
Right.
the tone. I was just talking to Lewis about setting the tone. Like, what's the wording that you use to set the tone that you want?
Right. A lot of times I just ignore their suggestions. Like ignore.
You can't.
Ignore.
You gotta lean into it. Just tell it
Right.
anything. Like, I'm not even gonna admit what the words I've used for the tone that I've used because it just sounds bad. But just tell it something and you experiment with it.
Okay. I'm gonna try that. I am.
So that's the testing part. What Uriah is describing to you, test it in, like, maybe try it in a strong Brooklyn, New York accent and tone. I've heard Nikki Saunders tell her chat bot to talk to her in that way. Hey, where's your Bronx accent? What are you doing? Get back to it. But then the tone of the rest of the chat is in her Bronx accent.
Right.
She talks to her chatbot. It talks back. But if you were writing something, you could say, hey, respond to me in this tone or style. Does that kind of make sense?
It does.
So
It makes a lot of sense.
I hear Copy AI, ChatGPT, and Grammarly is one set. Adama, what do you got for her on an AI tool that you might suggest? Because I'm going to send this to her after the show.
I would say because it's already the interface is already with what we do daily. I would say Microsoft Copilot, only because she can use it to rewrite emails. You can use it for beauty products, post. You can draft simple blogs. It can help you with prayer journals, ideas. I just feel like because that's a free one, and like I said, it's a very easy interface. So
Yeah.
it's the
Cool.
type that will help you with what you need. It's easy for you to stay connected to it because it's already connected to what we do daily with the Microsoft Word. Everything's connected. So I feel like that's the easy one.
All right. What's
And
the
it's
hard
free.
one?
Oh,
What's a more complex one that you know she's going to use for the cosmetology side?
only because it's almost like I bonded with mine. um, Chat, because there's so many different models. Like I just realized that you can take 3.5 and you can make that. It can actually, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You can take 3.5 and you can put a prompt in that tells you to research someone properly, and it will research combined. You can take that answer and then you combine it with 4.5. I mean, not 4.5. You combine it with 4.1 and no, 4.5. I'm sorry. You combine it with 4.5 and it would do an intricate search on the person that you're looking for. It will give you all the information that you need, which is kind of odd and kind of scary.
Okay. All right. So we got two for ChatGPT, one for Copy AI. We got Grammarly. We got Copilot. I am going to say, Miss Reagan, the one that I would suggest for you that might be a good way for you to learn to talk to yours. I would suggest FYI AI. The gentleman from the Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am, he's one of the founders. This one is really meant to boost your creativity. I use this a lot when I'm talking on the go, doing brainstorming. So as I hear you preparing to go back into your cosmetology and building and branding and all of that from the creative side, I think that this would be a really good tool for you. The other thing that I would suggest in FYI AI is it has a built-in image generator. So it would be a really good opportunity for you to explore. Try sampling making nail sets, just your creative designs that you have up here. Try dropping those in there and seeing what that kind of looks like. And I'll try and get some prompts together for you specific to nail sets, to make it a little easier where you can kind of drag and drop. I think that would probably be one tool that you can use on the go. It's free. You don't have to get a subscription for it to be able to create the images, to be able to talk to the chatbot. Really helpful tool on that side of things. When you get to the point where you're ready to, I would explore Midjourney. I know that that's a more advanced thing, but this is more on the property management side.
Okay.
My suggestion for you, something that I used to do for our in-house family business was do the marketing for any of our vacancies. Go in, take all the pictures, that sort of thing, and then piece it together, get a flyer, get that out both digitally and physically, out the trunk, like you say.
Right.
So Midjourney will help with being able to come up with concept ideas for. I read the specifics about what properties you manage. So for each owner, you might be able to come up with a branded package that helps make the marketing easier when you get your next turn. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It does.
So that is something that Midjourney is going to take a little time to get used to how to do it. But once you do, I think on the property manager side, that will really help you tenfold easily. So finding a good chat bot in either ChatGPT or Copilot or FYI AI, between the three of us, you got three choices there.
Nice.
And then Chat, Copilot, FYI, and Midjourney are all image generators as well. So it gives you a little bit to kind of play around with to figure which one actually works for your style. And hopefully that helps somebody else that's watching this on the replay. Miss Toy is in the building. She said her chat refers to be bestie. She now gives me suggestions and all recommendations after I got my answer. So while it's not a human to human interpersonal relationship, you do kind of rely on it like not even really a companion, but that's the word that comes to mind. I talk to mine every day. I'm prompt engineering for either AI images or AI video, me personally, every single day. So I'm using some kind of tool. Chat is probably the one I use the most. So if you need help, you have a show here that is happy to help you with whatever you need.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real quick, Reagan, tell the people where they can find you, and if you have anything that you would like to talk about, promote, market, now is a good time to do so. You got the floor.
All right. So I have two Instagram pages. You can find me on Reagan NC. That's my main page. All of my books are on there. Links are on there under the post. And then my nail page is Glitter and Gloss NC on Instagram. You can DM me on either one. I do custom press-ons. I make cuticle oil. I have a rose one and a lavender one as well. Promotes nail growth. It keeps a protective barrier on the nails. Cuticle oil is like essential to healthy nails. So Dad, remember, when these girls get their nails, they definitely got to use their cuticle oil on a daily basis. It does help keep those nails healthy. So Instagram, I'm an Instagram girly. I love Instagram. If you DM me, I will definitely respond to you. And all my books are on Amazon under Reagan Dennis, Raegan. And of course, I have hard copies. But if you're looking for a good read, if you just want to download it on your Kindle or just order it because you like to feel, the pages in your hands, but some people still like a good old fashioned book, I definitely got some good reads for you. They'll be encouraging. You're going to laugh. You might cry. You might DM me because you're mad at me because I done killed off your favorite character. I don't know. But just go find you something to read. Get you a set of nails. That's all you need on a good Saturday. A set of nails and a book, and you're good. That's your weekend right there.
7 nails in the book. I think I might adjust this title. Hey, a set of nails.
A set of nails in the book.
Set of nails in the book.
Hey, that should be your next title. Reagan, that should be the title of a book.
A set of nails in the book.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. A set of nails in the book.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good right there.
I like it. I like it.
Right? That was spot on.
I love that. A set of nails in the book.
All right. Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that. I got her Instagram in the chat. You guys can find her on Amazon. I'll have this replay up here shortly. Miss Adama, where can the people find you as always?
You can find me on you can find me on Linktree. You can also Google me, baby. Right there, look, right there where our awesome director who just keeps us looking all good. Right there, look, let me pinch it. That's where you can find me. And I would also like to announce some awesome news. I'm in the process of building a hub for exactly what today's conversation was on. So everybody who's out there building and making these awesome avatars and learning, this is amazing. So the hub that I'm going to be building for is basically for the women in between my beautiful seasoned age bracket, 40 and up, and getting knowledgeable information and everything to that nature. I don't want to go too further on it, but something like what happened today, what we did today, the beautiful synergy that was here today is what I'm going to be giving, because life is changing and it's too good to just keep it bottled or be scared or anything to that nature. So, and Reagan, I appreciate you coming on here today and representing and being amazing. Again, you guys can find me at that awesome Linktree. Thank you.
Awesome. My man, my brother in AI, where can the people find you?
You can just hit me up right here on Facebook or right here, where on the Link app, all of my contacts are on there. If you need any services from business consulting or content creation, I'm here for you. Let me know. Hit me up on any platform that you find me on, and we can connect.
Fantastic. Hey, be safe getting back to the States, bro.
I'm working on it.
Well, I want to start out before I give where you can find me. I just want to say thank you again to Reagan. This was a real pleasure. If you need anything from me or the show, definitely reach out. We're here to be support. I will get the information sent over to you as soon as we get off of here. I'll send it to the DM so that you've got all the AI tools. That way you can have a better week this week with those nasty grams. Those nasty grams. We gonna help you out with those nasty grams.
Well, thank you.
My name is Lewis Marshall. I am the AI and airbrush artist over here at Marshall Artistry. You can find me on all platforms at Marshall Artistry. The link is right here. You can find all of our latest prop packs for images and videos, and now in multiple languages, on our website at marshallartistry.com. We also have some new custom bottles coming up, so keep an eye out for those. We've got 2 very special guests coming up for the next 2 weeks, so definitely set your alarms on all of the platforms. Go ahead and subscribe, follow, and if you haven't already, get tapped into our Unleashed AI creativity group. That's the space where we share information about how we do what we do. Other than that, this has been a wonderful episode. Really excited to get to know you, Reagan. Would you like to come back here in about 6 months to give us an update?
I would love that. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. I try to ask all my guests, so I appreciate you answering. I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all next Sunday. I'll holla.